Fortunately, I was sitting here blabbing and I lit the simulator, but since we on live, citizens, it's that time. You are officially in the incinerator. Welcome to Midday Mania, the um, live stream that we do here on the Alert Zone from time to time. Uh, Shout out to everybody. I just posted my first video on Instagram. I'm still learning it. You guys have no idea how hectic my schedule has been, and trying to get all this done. I'm gonna try it out maybe tonight or tomorrow if I don't go to work. Um, Doing a live stream on StreamYard where I can stream on uh, YouTube here and Instagram simultaneously. But shout out to everybody. Hit the likes as you come in the building. I'll give y'all a couple minutes to get here. It's midday Friday. By the way, got my new cup, the new mug. You guys see all the bullets on it with the revolver handle. Definitely, this one is really, really thick, really good one. As you come in, hit the likes button. If you catch it on the replay, make sure you hit the like, share, make sure you subscribe. We at 2,359 subs. Let's get that number by Monday to 2,500. Let's do that. Shout out, you guys know how I like to do this, to Eyes and Ears Tactical for the incinerator. Our schedule was kind of different this week, so we wasn't able to get that interview that I promised coming. I'm still working on it. Y'all bear with me. We're trying to get everything lined up. So I give everybody a couple more minutes to get here, and we'll get started. Got my cranberry juice. Shout out to everybody though. I give y'all a couple minutes. We'll start it at the 5-minute mark. What today gonna be? It's Friday at 12 o'clock. So I know a lot of people out on lunch. You're taking care of business. Yeah. So shout out to everybody. We got 3 people in the building so far. Hit the likes button as you come in here. As you guys can see, I'm rocking my Big Pony collection, one of my Big Pony collection polo shirts. You know I love those. Shout out to everybody because this is a worldwide movement. Wherever you watching from, I definitely, excuse me, would love for y'all to drop in from so we can put y'all on the map. On the last live stream, I had somebody from Iran here. I thought that was pretty cool. I had some Hawaiians, some Australians, some Brazilians, some people from the UK. You know Mexico is the second most watched city. Definitely. Got my cranberry juice. Yeah, I took the label off till we get an endorsement. If you own a cranberry juice company, if you want to do business with them, let me know. Also, if you guys want to do some advertising here or what have you, hit me in the comment section. Even after after the replay, and let me know. So let's just go ahead and get into it. We're at the 5-minute mark. So I read an interesting article yesterday, and I'm in favor of this, and this is 2A related. All right, William, Gun Freak Nation in the building. By the way, shout out to you and your channel. I am going to line it up one of these days to get you on here. So just be patient with me. I'm going to line that up to get you on here. So we can do the interview. You know, you can get your name out there and we can have a different conversation and stuff like that. I'm definitely, like I said, I'm getting it lined up so I can reach out to a lot of people and bring y'all up here, because it's a worldwide movement. If you're watching from another country outside of America, make sure you always drop that in so we can shout your country out. But I wanted to say, I said Donald Trump was going to be the person to get any kind of gun legislation through on a federal level. And I saw something that was kind of promising, that I seen the Department of Justice is going to start reviewing, putting in an executive order, getting together, where they're going to review restoring rights to felons. And you know what? I'm for it, and I'm going to tell you why. It's not a blanketed thing. It's a case-by-case deal that they're going to do. But the fact of restoring felons their rights, I think is good, because we have a very impractical, a very, very not too good justice system here in America. A lot of people get swept into felony records that didn't have the money to defend themselves, or they got convicted real young, or in some cases they were innocent and they had their clean records taken from them. So I'm for it on a case-by-case study. But you know what? Sometimes you need a second chance. I do understand, whether people like what I'm about to say or not, I've understood people just being there and getting in trouble. I know the code of the streets is supposed to be you're not supposed to open your mouth. But there is crimes that have happened where people will just happen to be in the car and somebody did something. I'll give you guys an example. I won't say no names, but there's some friend of mine back when we was younger that decided not to go to school one day. They stopped at a corner store, and one of them went in. Nobody knew he had a gun on him. Well, he wound up robbing the store, and when he came out of the store, he took off running. Well, they're all together. Well, they took off running with him. And then they found out later he robbed the store. They all wind up getting swept up in that. He winded up getting convicted of the robbery. They wanted to get them as accessories. But he finally spoke up and did the right thing and said they didn't even know that I was going to do that. All they did was not go to school that day. That was their crime. But most guys and girls that's in the streets ain't stand up like that anymore. But with that being said, man, you know, a lot of times people get convicted on false charges. We do live in a country where sometimes asking law enforcement, what am I being arrested for, gets put down as resisting with violence and what have you. So there's a whole lot of different things that goes into a conviction. So they're talking about, they want to see about restoring felons their rights. I know on the state levels, you can write a letter. There are people that have reached out to me, especially on the old channel, that had got their rights restored. So it can happen. Now, my understanding is if it's anything violent or domestic, you got a long shot, but it's not very promising. So, you know, I just thought I would point that out to everybody, that legislation is being discussed about giving felons their rights back. And I'm for this. Look, in some of these cases, these guys and girls have paid their debt to society. Give them their voting rights back. Give them, for those of you who don't know, when you become a convicted felon, you lose your citizenship. There's an asterisk next to your citizenship. I don't know if a lot of you knew that or not. Um, but you get all your rights restored and stuff. So I'm with that. I'm with that on a case by case basis. I'm not gonna get up here and just blanketly say I'm against, well, certain people shouldn't be allowed because I don't know the circumstance. As I stated, some people just was there when the crime happened. Some people got accused of a crime that didn't happen or they didn't commit. So uh, that was one thing. Like I said, we got Donald Trump in office for the Second Amendment community. We should be like when the Democrats are in office and the abortion community steps forward and gets things done. This is the time to get it done. Because if we don't get federal reciprocity, basically a lift on all these unconstitutional assault weapon bans and all this nonsense, if we don't get it in under Donald Trump, once he leaves office, that train is going to leave the station and it'll never come back. Because no Republican that comes after him ever has had or will ever have the balls to even entertain that. And that goes for some of y'all Chief Buddy Ronald Reagan. He's the author, he's the grandfather of the modern day gun restrictions when the Panthers showed up. So, y'all hold on one second. Sorry about that, everybody. I was kind of waiting on a call there. Y'all know we do it raw and uncut here. All right. Seconds count. What's going on? What's going on? Showing off my new mug again. The bullets with the revolver handle on it. Old school. Old school. Desperado cowboy type stuff. But like I was saying, so I'm for that. Basically getting all these stupid Second Amendment restrictions repealed and just moving forward. You know, we just need to get that done. In other news, the Canic, was that the MC9 or the Prime or what have you? Has anybody gotten their hands on that firearm yet? And is it as good as they were predicting it to be? I haven't seen any videos on it. I'm gonna probably check a couple out in a little bit. But has anybody gotten their hands on one of those? And if you have, what do you think about it? You guys know I'm a mechanic fanatic. Definitely. So what say you? Have y'all been able to get it? Yeah. But like I was saying to everybody, definitely that reciprocity, that federal reciprocity, we gotta have that. We need to also get this stupid Russian ammo and firearms and all that crap. We need to get that ban lifted. You remember under Biden, he started banning parts and things from Russia, which is why I wound up having to hybrid my AK-47 because there was a block on the parts, and I waited for so long that I just decided, okay, well, we can go ahead on and hybrid it so I can get it back, because I got tired of seeing it all to pieces sitting in the case. And so I got that back with that. What's it, Tulamo? I know I don't ever pronounce it right, but that Tulamo is really good and it's really cheap. I have that Winchester 7.62 by 39 for my AK-47. That shit is expensive. It's 22 rounds, 23 rounds. Give me just a second. That is 23 rounds out. $22, $23, $24 for 20 rounds. That's ridiculous. 7.62 by 39. But the weather is a little windy and a little chilly out here, but it's better than it's been. I was down in Alabama, and then went to Kansas, and then came back up yesterday. So I came up under that blizzard. I did go through a lot of wind. But yeah, the weather is a whole lot better than it's been. It ain't minus something today, thank goodness. And usually March is one of them iffy type months. It could be, it can't be, you never know. So that's that. Definitely. But I'm gonna get to something in a little bit before I close this live stream out. Might be a little bit of controversy behind it. It's not meant to be disrespectful, and it's not meant to target anybody. So don't take it that way, but it's something that needs to be said. Because, you know, we don't just talk about being reactive here, we talk about being proactive. We got 7 people in here. Make sure you hit the likes button when you come through. Share it. Comment. Always let me know where y'all checking in from so I can shout y'all out. Shout your city out or your state. If you're in a different country, I can shout your country out. But yeah. Like I said, at the 20-minute mark, because I'm only going to do a 30-minute live stream today for this and let y'all out. All right, we got Florida in the building. Definitely shout out to Florida, Lakeland, Miami. All right, Hawaii. We got Hawaii in the building. Shout out. Is that how they go in Hawaii? Like that? How y'all do it? But yeah, Lakeland, Miami Gardens, Daytona Beach, St. Augustine, Vero Beach, St. Pete, Lake City, Panama City Beach, Tallahassee, Pensacola. Shout out to the state of Florida. Shout out to Hawaii. Was it Kona? Honolulu. Definitely. I hope that the residents of Hawaii are able to recover from those wildfires and get their land back and what have you. I'm not gonna dive into that about what I think about that whole incident, but shout out to Hawaii, definitely. You know, this is a worldwide movement, so shout out to everybody. But yeah, I just like to know where y'all checking in so I can shout y'all city or shout y'all state out. And yeah, it's starting to warm up though around the country. Another thing about it being so windy out, this is the time to go outside and learn your firearm. Turkey season coming. I might go turkey hunting this year if I get a chance. But this is a time to go out, learn how to shoot in the wind. If you can shoot your gun close to a bullseye when it's really windy, you can shoot. You know your gun is good. Okay, yeah. The weather's good up here, man. Going to Mason City, yeah, you're gonna be good coming up here. You're gonna be good coming up here. You ain't gonna all that wind and stuff is already passed by. West Virginia, all right. Shout out to West Virginia, Charleston, Bluefield, Morgantown, Wheeling, Interstate 64, 79, 77. Shout out to West Virginia, the Mountaineer State. West Virginia is very, very mountainous. For people who've never been, they gave them the right mascot, the Mountaineers. It is very mountainous. The state of West Virginia is sitting in a mountain. Definitely. You go on some of them little small streets and you going straight up in the air like that, damn near. You be holding on so tight with that damn truck, put that joker in second gear and stand up on the gas and get all the way to the top of the hill. Don't even think about shifting that truck if you got a manual. Because if you shift it, it might roll back on you. I've been to 46 out of 48 continental. Washington State, and Idaho are the only two states I haven't been to. I've been to every other state though. I've been to them and in them, not just through them, but I've been in them. So definitely. There's a lot to see here in America. If you ever got money and time to travel, I say this when it comes to traveling though. You have to understand American politics, and you have to understand traveling with a large sum of cash. If you're going to a particular destination and you're going to take you a road trip, take you some gas money, cash if you want, some food money. But when you get to your city, your place that you plan on visiting, then you go and get your money. Don't take 10, 15, 20,000 cash with you, because if law enforcement stop you, even if you got proof that you're on vacation, they'll take your money anyway through civil forfeiture. And basically, if you tell them that they can't take your money, they'll have you arrested for money laundering or something. This is how the police departments, this their little bonus money, this is how they subsidize themselves. So you just have to be careful with that. With that being said, let me go ahead and say this. Let me get this out of the way, because it needs to be said. It's going to be kind of political, but it's going to be Second Amendment. 2, because I said we proactive and not reactive here. Black folk. Foundational Black Americans. I want y'all to listen to me really good. Going out, all right. Oh man, shout out to Brazil. We own in Brazil. We appreciate you. We appreciate you tuning in. Y'all gonna mess around and keep me on here. I said I was only gonna be 30 minutes. Y'all gonna keep me on here. I just wanted to say this to black folk. Whatever political differences we may have, the time for being out in the street protesting, as you guys and girls can see, there's a different set of rules for us. When we go out to protest, law enforcement show up in riot gear. The National Guard comes out. The police dress like Call of Duty warriors. They bring out the robots now, them robot dogs that carry them damn flamethrowers and M16s on them and all. We get the Call of Duty weapons brought out when it's us. Since Trump has taken over, you've had these, even here in Iowa, the state capitol protests where all these people that ran up in these state capitals screaming and yelling and carrying on, and you had the immigration protests around the country. Officers was out there, but they wasn't dressed like Call of Duty warriors. They didn't come out there antagonizing the people. Some of these protests, I've seen people hold traffic up and take over the intersection, and that was fine. For us, we have to understand it's a different set of rules. Just like I'm bold enough to tell you that we have an asterisk next to our Second Amendment rights. Our rights on paper is not going to be able to be practiced in public like everybody else's. This is why I tell you, get your concealed carry permit and don't you argue with these guys and girls on the side of the road, because the rules for us are different, and that's just what it is. If you want to boycott something, you want to protest something, stay your behind home and keep your money or whatever. But all that getting out there, and you got laws like in Florida, and you got people like Greg Abbott in Texas. If you go to a protest that's protesting racial injustice, they've made it where you can go out there and assault or run people over. Or like in the case of Kyle Rittenhouse, he went there to kill black folks. It's just black folks wouldn't jump in front of his gun and take a bullet. And he had a whole system to back him up. So that's just what it is. Oh man, I'm just taking it easy, man. I just thought I'd do a live stream with everybody. But yeah, unless it's something directly tied to us, don't go out there. I've seen people since the new administration. Yeah. Ammo background check. Yeah, we got to get all that craziness off there. Background checks for ammo, goddamn it, all that craziness. But as I was saying, We've seen everybody get out there and protest whatever their grievances were and not have the National Guard and the Call of Duty out there, Call of Duty warriors. And basically, that's their way of letting people know. I haven't seen anybody go to these statewide protests around the country and use these laws where you can hit protesters blocking the street and what have you. So it's a racial thing, but it's also a proactive thing for us to not put ourselves in harm's way. If it doesn't concern us, just stay out of it. For those of you who in the alert zone and you wonder why you haven't seen us at these protests, it's because if a bunch of us show up, we're not going to see just law enforcement out there just making sure that we keep the peace. We're going to see them show up in riot gear, and they're going to come out antagonizing and looking for problems. At the end of the day, stay your behind home. But with that being said, just shout out to everybody for tuning in to this channel. It's the nutritionist channel. It's not the candy. It's not always shooting and having fun. It's the Brussels sprouts and cauliflower. You don't get excited to see me, but afterwards you think about, I was good for the soul, I was good for the body. So I appreciate you tuning in. Like I said all the time, you guys and girls could be doing something else with your time. Whether you catch me live or whether you catch me recording. You could be doing something else with your time, but you chose to stop by and give me a listen. Without me, without you, there is no me. I would just be a loudmouth guy sitting here talking about firearms. With that being said, I really appreciate y'all. It's been fun. No, we got another 4 minutes. I'll go ahead and do those 4 minutes. As you guys can see, we got a hotline going on. You do the same. You have a good weekend. Be safe wherever you're going. Definitely. Just want everybody to be safe out there. Like I said, shout out to everybody that tunes into this channel. Without y'all, there would be no me. I'd just be like we was before GunTube. If you've never been into firearms before GunTube, you don't understand. Those of us that firearms lovers, we've been called crazy. We've been called delusional. We've been called paranoid because we love firearms and we own so many. We've had people call us all kinds of nonsense. You like what you like. I like what I like. Let that be that. I love guns. I've loved guns since a kid, and I think I'm going to love guns until I close my eyes. That's just what it is. Be happy that you have a group of men and women and young men and young women and young children out here speaking about being legally armed. This is a haven for people who love firearms to come to, and for people who want to learn how to protect themselves, or for people who want to see, well, should they practice their Second Amendment rights? That's what GunTube is for. And I'm proud to be one of the contributors here in GunTube. I know I've had people give me their testimonies in the comment section that I inspired them to go out there and practice their Second Amendment rights, and I'm happy for that. You know, we don't advocate violence on this channel. We don't advocate people get armed and go out there looking for trouble. Okay, yeah, you know what? I think tomorrow I might go ahead and do something long. Hold on, I'll do something live with y'all. Hold on 1 second. I got this thing here. It looks like a planner. I'm gonna show up. Let me open this up with y'all. I'll do this live real quick. Yeah. Shout out to my wife for getting me this. You guys and girls know. Oh no, yeah, I'm gonna give you something to ride to this weekend. I'm gonna come up with something. We got our new book here. I think I'm gonna definitely use this to keep my thoughts. You guys seen my old raggedy book that I usually carry with me, my notepad. You know, I'm old school. When I get thoughts, I like to write them down, and that's how I come up with the concepts for the program. Now, Midday Mania and Midnight Madness is kind of like a freestyle. Maybe I might have seen a subject that I wanted to address, and then maybe it'll divvy off into something else if we just have a general conversation, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, I'm gonna get everything set up so I can look a little bit more professional, and just keep on bringing that good, nutritious content. You know, like I said, this is the nutritious channel. You don't get really excited if you're not into vegetables. You don't really get excited, but you know you need it for the body. So definitely. I want everybody out there to go. What's going on, Jason? About to get ready to get off of here in a minute or two. Yeah, much love, man. Much love. I definitely want everybody to protect themselves. I want everybody to be strategic out here. Oh, shit. We got Gun Freak Nation. Yep, Gun Freak Nation salute you. We just definitely want everybody to protect themselves and what have you. And like I said, as we get more ideas, you guys are welcome to throw me some out in the comment section and what have you. Or if this is not your favorite channel, but you got other channels, this, I say in the next, before the end of 2025, we should make a federal push to get certain laws on the books. Don't chance it. Because when Trump gets out of office, you can forget it. This Second Amendment stuff, no telling where it's going to go. There's a conservative Supreme Court that we can't depend on because they let the Illinois ban stand. They let the Michigan ban stand. They keep letting all these bans stand, so we can't depend on them. Don't depend on conservatism. I just think when it comes to the Second Amendment, we can get more out of Trumpism than we ever will get out of conservatism. It's just that simple. I don't want to hear nothing about a red state, a blue state. Let's do this at the federal level. That way we cover it all the way across the board. We need to get federal reciprocity. We need to get these damn bans lifted. That way, whatever you own, you can carry anywhere you go. Instead of, well, I have to make sure I'm California legal today, but tomorrow I'm going to go to Arizona and it's going to be something totally different. No, we need to have one standard. And the standard should be, if it holds 30 rounds, if it holds 50, if it holds 100, damn it, as long as you got it legally, you should be able to own it. Not, well, your gun has to be California compliant and what have you, and off the fucking roster firearms and all that nonsense that they got over there. With that being said, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. This incense is basically burning out. The incinerator is burned out. We got 11 people in here. Hit the likes. If you catch this on a replay, I appreciate you. Shout out to Brazil for checking in. Shout out to Florida. Shout out to Hawaii. Shout out to everybody for checking in. If you catch me on a replay, just drop it in the comment section. Let me know where you're at, because the next video, you never know, I might shout y'all out. Until next time, this has been Midday Mania. I'm going to let you guys and girls get back to your day. Be cool on your stool wherever you are. Always stay strategic. Till next time, stay safe, stay armed, stay on high alert. Midday Mania is out.